singing through this one. This one was down, so man, it sounded good. Didn't the guitar sound good?
We'll say goodbye to everybody.
Adios. It was a pleasure to be on the show with the mad scientist and the mushroom man.
Mad mushroom farmer.
The mad mushroom farmer.
But I'm not mad.
And you'll be back.
I'll be back. Oh, definitely.
To take courses.
Take courses and to be around.
And come back to tea, 4 o'clock, Thursdays and Fridays. And bring your guitar.
Bring that down to the mad tea party.
It was a party.
See ya.
Shut up. See ya.
Like the tea.
Tasty. Very good. Good selection. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, he's a great guitar player, good singer too.
He sings in a band we did on Mount Dungeon. Did you hear us talking about it?
No.
We already did a show with his band.
What is his band? Lonesome Mountain Tree Teetotalers.
No, I think it's Secret B-Sides. I'm not sure. I don't remember the name of the band. I said don't let me
But it was
say
a good band.
As soon as I say it, I said the wrong thing. I'll get in trouble. I never said that. I don't know the name. I can't. No, put it here. I like it this way. Yeah.
Move! Damn. Man, you're going to have to get a lighter teapot.
No.
Or I'm
I
gonna
had to get a bigger teapot because
Is this not the same teapot? That's a big teapot.
it is. I had to get a larger teapot for a couple of reasons. One is I got some. I broke my other teapots. You know, I broke a bunch of teapots. It is heavy. You're right. But it was the Media Fest is coming up. So you want to swap mics with me? You want that
Yeah,
one?
no,
You gonna take my mic?
No.
See,
No, I just took it for that.
I can turn. Trust me, I can turn your mic down just as well as I can turn my mic. As I can turn any other mic down.
Here, take your mic.
No. Go ahead. You're on it. I don't care. This one works just as well. This one works.
No, come down to the market on Sunday. Our market is open in Marshall. I've decided a kind of a slogan for Marshall. Hits happening.
It is.
It hits a happening.
It is.
Hits a happening in Marshall.
It is. Is hit.
Is.
Hit sure is. Yeah, that's right. Hit. So you.
No, hit.
So yins come.
Hit is or hit ain't one.
It's happening. So yins come.
It's a happening.
Yins come. It's
Yins
happening. Yeah, it is.
Go home with us.
That's right. It's happening.
How was the party yesterday? Was it intoxicating?
Well, let's see. The first hour and a half of the party, I sat here by myself and talked and brewed tea. So certainly by the time
Brooded.
Yeah. So by the time everybody got here, it was nice and bitter. But it turned out okay. It's all right.
What are we going to do about digital here?
About what? Digital.
Yeah. When the whole world goes digital, is that going to be like 2001 all over again?
We're
Or
hoping
2000 when the whole world is
We're hoping
kind of
Jesus will come back,
before that?
or right at the same time,
Yeah.
because
To punish all the digital people.
that's right. Because digital is just another word for devil.
Gonna move to Arizona, baby, and get me 45 wives.
Yeah, you wrote a new song, didn't you?
Just now. That's a nice thing. It's
And
all
all
kinds
of
of
them,
stuff.
and all of them working.
And all of them working, baby, and I just sit at home and count my money. I said, yeah, I got one family in Arizona. Got one in Texas, too. I got 35 young'uns, give a take one or two. I moved out here and
Hey.
gonna live down.
Are you gonna join us?
No, I have to finish what I'm doing, but if I have enough time, I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
That is cherry, maraschino
Got
cherry
them
and cheese.
old polygamous blues.
If you wanna icing over.
Polygamous blues.
I put you on
You got how many children?
cupcakes.
Got 35, give or take one or two.
Give or take one or two.
Better you
With all that many, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's right.
I'm gonna pack my suitcase. Go to slip out of here at midnight. Going back to North Carolina, baby, got them Arizona polygamy blues.
Do it one more time from the top.
Don't ask me that. You're not kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
I forgot the first verse. Do you remember it?
I'm gonna move somewhere and
Gonna move to Arizona. Go to get me. How many wives?
45.
45 wives, baby. Gonna move to Arizona, baby. Gonna get me 45 wives. Gonna sit around on the front porch, baby. That ain't no jive. I got a family down in Texas. Got one in Arizona too. No, I got 35 children, I think. Not give or
35
take
children.
one or two. I can't afford the payments. I can't afford the bill that's coming due. I'm going back to North Carolina. Can't stand these Arizona polygamous blues.
How many children you got?
Oh man, I really don't know. It's according to you count the ones on my first polygamous marriage.
There's children by my first two wives. And
Yeah,
then,
man.
what you gonna do? You need to get all those women working.
Who's gonna take care of all them kids? Can you imagine being left at home with 35 kids?
You are in a fix. You're in a fix.
Well, I'm in a fix. Don't know what to do. I'm going back to North Carolina. Got them Arizona, Texas, and Utah polygamy blues.
Lovely.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, the newspaper's just full of stuff. You could write 1,000,000 songs a day.
Well, I think you should.
I ain't got time. I'm too busy planting.
I think. How's that been going? You were. I'm glad you were able to break away in time to do the TV. You worked hard all week long just so you could break away and do this, didn't you?
Exactly.
I know you did.
I come and go to Earth Fair and drink a cup of coffee and eat a piece of carrot cake, read the New York Times, and come and drink some tea.
Yeah. I know that's right though. This is your day off, isn't it?
This is my day off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Tea party's a good thing.
And then you'll be back at it hard probably tomorrow. And then Sunday.
Probably, yeah.
Then Sunday you'll be at the
market.
market.
And then Wednesday probably at the market. I wasn't there last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But stuff's really starting to come in. I've had some Mexican friends come over and help me, and we've planted lots of stuff, and everything looks good. We got a little bit of rain, not much, but
Yeah, we did. That was enough to make a dent there.
that makes a difference. Any's good at this point in
That's
time.
right. Any's better than none. None is
Yeah.
not good.
None is
Some
not
is good. Do you irrigate?
I'm going to have to.
You
Well,
got
what
some-
I'm doing is I'm mulching everything. I bought truckloads of hay because I'm rigging for. I realize that if we're going to farm, we have to rig for dry times. We
That's
can
right.
still farm dry. Plants like dry weather if they get just a little bit of water, and so really efficient watering system combined with mulch. A lot of mulch will keep the ground moist and cool, and peppers, man, love it. Watermelons, grow big watermelons.
So
And-
mulch is the secret to keeping the
the
moisture in.
Yeah, it is, and if you put it under plastic, it also rots and keeps everything nice and
Didn't you
damp.
tell me
and
you
cool.
got some drip hose or something like
Yeah, I
that?
got drip hose.
Running this year? Mm-hmm. Is this your first year with that?
Yeah, to any extent. I have used it before, but not to the extent. I didn't
So
understand
you
it last
experimented with it?
I experimented with it last year.
So this year is going to be the tell, huh?
If we're going to grow stuff, we have to irrigate, but we have to conserve water. It can't be
What do you irrigate from? Do you irrigate from a well or do you...
Sugar Camp Creek is what I
Okay,
sugar.
there you go. And you got it blocked up in some way as the...
No, I just irrigate just a small amount at a time. It doesn't take much. Just
Uh-huh.
24 hours a day, little electric pump.
Yeah.
Going 24 hours a day, and I can pretty much irrigate everything I've got.
You got
that
one of
can
those...
be-
No, you just a drip hose.
Just a
That's
drip
right.
hose, because I mean that's the way they used to
Yeah.
irrigate. I had an old irrigation system that had 3-inch pipes and those things that, you know, with a 10 horsepower gasoline motor that you
Right.
can wet down an acre, but you
That's
have
what-
to have millions of gallons of water. You have
Well,
to
that's
have a
what
lot
we
of
used to
water.
do. We used to have one of those, and we had the...
What'd you grow?
Well, we grew more tomatoes than anything else. We had 3 acres of tomatoes.
Whoa! Did you pick tomatoes? You love
Do you-
that.
do you-
Hey!
Do you know how many tomatoes I've picked since then? About 3.
Let somebody else pick the tomatoes.
There's always a tomato with a rotten spot in it, you know.
Oh, I grew tomatoes 2 or 3 years. Got
But
to-
you didn't grow that many though, did you?
Not 3 acres. I grew maybe a quarter of an acre by myself.
That's a good amount of tomatoes. Let's get your hands in some tomatoes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
We sold them and down in Winston-Salem, the grocery store is called Food Fair. We sold them to Food Fair. Bought our tomatoes.
I bet that was was that sandy soil in Winston, or was it clay and rocky?
Well, no,
It wasn't rocky, I bet.
No, it wasn't rocky at all. I'll tell you what it was. It was my grandfather bought the old Burke home place, and they had at one time owned half of the land that was Winston-Salem, and they had sold it off for over the years until there was no. This was the last little bitty chunk of land, just a few acres that was connected to the original home place, the house there, and my grandfather bought that land.
How many acres?
3.
So you raised 3 acres of tomatoes, huh?
Yeah.
But tomatoes everywhere, but where the house sat?
Pretty much. We had 3 fields. There were about actually we had 4 fields, but we had 2 fields that were about an acre apiece, and then we had another field that was maybe a half an acre, you know.
Can't we put you in the picture here? That looks pretty weird, me sitting there while you're talking.
Well, you were playing a song when I pushed that button there. Let's see if I can get you and me.
Yeah,
See,
there you
there,
go.
no, that
I'll
way
set
you-
forward.
Okay, if you can slide down this way, and you can slide forward.
Which way?
This way toward me. You see if you slide toward me and up to the
That's good
table.
enough. That's
Yeah.
good enough.
Anyway, so we had. So anyway, we grew a lot of tomatoes, and we sold them to food fair. They were real good. But what it had been was, during the last I don't know how many, when we were plowing the fields, we found things like metal banks for change, with the name of some bank from Winston-Salem on it, from like dates like 1909 and different things. So the place was full of old patent medicine bottles and stuff. It was
Been civilized or uncivilized a long time.
yeah, and but it had been for the last probably 20 years or something a chicken farm.
Oh man! So that grew some serious tomatoes. Did they run free?
Yeah, a lot of times for a long when we took it over, the guy had been raising mostly game cocks and stuff, and lots of chickens that ran. We had chickens roosting in the trees there.
You inherited the chickens when you bought it?
Well, no, he got all the chickens he could and took them out of there, but he couldn't.
The games fight. They don't.
Yeah, he couldn't catch them all, so there was a good number just in the trees. But there were chicken houses that the chickens had been in for years, and stuff like that. Most of which were falling down, or we tore them down and stuff, and
Man,
began
it
to
grows some good tomatoes.
plowed that as fields. Yeah, and it was
Chicken manure. I've tried to find it everywhere this year and couldn't find it.
It's incredible. That's the land was incredible. It wasn't this year's chicken manure. It was like 20 years of chicken manure.
Yeah.
That everything you'd get a seed close to the ground, it would start wiggling, wanting to grow.
Yeah, yeah. That's what your grandpa said.
No, that's just my experience. But we raised other things too. We had corn and beans.
You couldn't stand still too long, or you'd start to take root.
Yeah, and we had watermelons and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. I think we need lots of food, or at least I need lots of food. And my neighbors and friends need lots of food, and it's a long way from California.
What do you have a tractor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we tilled 3 acres, and I highly recommend to anybody who wants to try this that this is the absolute top limit. To cultivate 3 acres with a rotary tiller is
You wore out 4 rotary tillers a year.
no, we used one rotary tiller the whole time. Yeah.
You didn't plow it in the spring with a rotary tiller.
Yeah, we did everything with that rotary tiller. We did everything with that rotary. It was a stout machine. We had a good stout rotary tiller. It was a good one, but we did everything with the rotary tiller. I don't know. You know what? It is possible. It is possible that I wasn't there, and that at some point my grandfather might have hired the guy that was just up the road to come down
Plow in the spring.
and do the initial plowing
Yeah, sure.
with his tractor. That might be so, and it might be that I never saw that take place.
Yeah.
I was a bit younger then. I was like maybe.
That's what I'm doing
junior
now.
high
Is
school.
I'm plowing with my tractor, and then I use a set of discs because I'm on a slope, and then I use 2 discs that I made on a plow, and I terrace it, and then I go through it with a rototiller. So I've got got terraces maybe this wide, and I cover those with hay, and then I cover those with plastic, or then I put the irrigation tape down. And
Does that take 2 stripes with your tiller to go through them, or do you just do 1 stripe down the middle?
I take 2.
2 stripes with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
2. But,
1 down and 1 back, something like that.
Yeah. It works real good. It works real good. I like terracing. It's pretty, as a matter of fact, and it conserves water, and it saves erosion, and it's much easier to put the plastic and irrigation down. I just came up with that this year. Last year,
Right, it really saves on erosion, and it helps to hold the water. Is what it really does. Then if you got a little lip right up at the edge of the terrace before it goes down to the next one.
No, it pretty much just goes down like a stair step, like you see in the Chinese movies or the Tibet movies, And I don't know of anybody else that's doing that. And I just started it on a small place where I lived, just because that was the only thing to do. I didn't like gardening on a slope.
Right.
Because you're all the time falling.
It's hard to walk on a slope.
It's hard to walk on a slope. So I just plowed it with a horse, and then used a shovel to make the terraces. And once you make the terraces, well, it's pretty much done.
You used to plow it with a horse?
I plowed this particular place with a horse, yeah.
Because of the steepness of it.
Yeah, and the neighbor up the road had a team, and he brought. I think he used a team. Yeah, he used a team, and I helped him plow it. I'd plowed before back when I was a kid, but.
Are you coming in?
No, I'm fixing to leave. You want to get this compressor before I...
Sure, and I want to do something else too. I want to get. Can I pick up my DVDs? Here, let me put the camera back on you. It is now your show, and so you be sure and play this as a nice song. Will you now?
You can wash my shirt, starch my overall. Gonna catch that train, Coke and ball from Washington down to Buffalo. Going up north is far. Luck don't change, love won't be back at all. Honey, baby, blue-eyed babe, well, baby left me and gone. Baby left me and gone, solid gone. Solid gone. Baby left me, she went and took my shoes. Left me with a case of that doggone worried blues. My baby's gone, solid gone. Baby left me and she gone. Baby left me and she gone. Lord, Lord, solid gone. Fingers are tired from all that digging.
Solid.
Well, my baby left me and she's gone. Baby left me and she's gone. Solid gone. Another sad love song. Oh Lord. Cannonball? No, it's the Washington Blues, I think it's called. Why, I don't know.
Oh, boy, she must
Doc
have
Watson played it.
Doc Watson did that one.
Yeah,
I
that's
bet-
where I heard it.
I bet she went to Washington. I bet that's why.
Are these still the Girl Scout cookies?
No, pass some this way. Pass that box. We're gonna sit here and eat cookies and get sick if need be.
Talk about Winston-Salem.
Uh-huh.
Well, my wife's people are from there. Aldridge's. She was a, her family would have been a little bit, they were landowners. I can't remember her mother's maiden name, but it was Elkin. My wife's from Elkin. You know where Elkin is. It's just north of Winston, just a little way. So we went down there a whole lot, down to Winston-Salem. Of course, it's a big bustling city, but but way back in the day, back when you were growing up, it was still a farming, a lot of farming.
It was real similar to here how it is here now. Now Asheville has gotten to be as big as Winston-Salem was maybe when I was. I know it's got that big, but the feel is a lot more like it is, like it was.
Yeah.
In town when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you go through there now, and it's doctors' offices and
Skyscrapers. And
skyscrapers and things like that.
made out of mirrors. And
Beautiful. I'm sure that area always kind of fascinated me in the farming because of those big fields. Boy, then they had the biggest, prettiest farms when I came through there, coming home from Fort Bragg in '68.
Mm-hmm. There's some big money farming going on.
There was some big time farming, big, beautiful farms there.
But I believe, at least the ones I'm aware of, and back in the day, they were all. I mean, they were family owned. They were beautiful family owned farms.
Absolutely, yeah.
They weren't corporate farms, although they were large. I never knew of a corporate farm.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure that's the case.
I could only guess what it's like now. I don't know.
He's sitting over here.
Mm-hmm. You like it again?
I really like those graphics. You look like the Invisible Man.
No, I just have the.
Why does it do that?
I have the invisible shirt.
Why does it do that?
Well,
Why does it do that to you, and it doesn't do that to my hand?
I have the shirt.
You have no idea.
It likes the color of my shirt.
Well, it's beautiful in Asheville, and I'm looking forward to this year. I'm sure it's going to be a great year, even though it's going to be dry. And we're going to...
Now, you've already decided it's going to be dry?
I think the Weather Service has decided it's going to be dry. I don't put much faith in what I think.
But you do what they say.
That's where all those satellites and all that stuff is for. I was noticing everybody says, oh, you can't tell what the weatherman says. And yesterday he said, well, there'll be some showers early, and then it's going to before 8, after 12, before 8, and then it's going to be clearing, and then it's going to rain again in the afternoon. Well, I woke up about 1 o'clock, and it started raining. It rained till about 8 o'clock, and then it quit. Then it was kind of partially sunny up till about 2 or 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Here comes the rain again, you know.
So you think they got it down pretty good?
Well, I mean, they got that big eye in the sky up there. It's pretty hard to get around.
The clouds are coming this way.
The clouds are going to be there in about an hour, you know.
Yeah.
And
But how much better does that make them as telling what it's going to be next week or next month?
I'd say that they know pretty much. I think weather prediction is pretty well established as a science, meteorology. I think it's pretty well.
Well, you know, my roommate Casey Waters is a meteorologist. Did you know he's a meteorologist?
I did not know that.
That's what his degree is in. He's a meteorologist. That's right. So I get a.
Well, we need a weatherman on URTV.
Well, that's what I've suggested to him. I'll get up and I'll say, well, now what's the weather? Is it going to rain today? Is it going to rain tonight? What's it going to be? You know, is it going to get cold? Is it going to be warm? Whatever. I usually ask him, and he'll tell me. He says, well, you know, he says the weatherman says it's going to get down to 28 degrees tonight. You know, he says I don't think it'll quite make that. He says I'll say it'll get 34. You know, and something like that. Or he says they say it's going to rain this afternoon. He says I don't think it'll rain before 7, or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he and I've been keeping up with him, and most always he's right. He's
tuned into the local weather conditions where he's sitting at the moment.
He beats what the weatherman says, you know, and
well, farming you need good weather reports. You need to know when the high winds are coming. You need to know when the heavy rains might be coming. Mm-hmm. You need to know when the hot, dry weather, 100 degrees, is going to be coming. So you can prepare for it. If you've got a day or so, you can prepare for it. And in farming, that's all it takes is a couple of 3 hours of the wrong kind of weather, and you're ruined for the year if it happens at the wrong time.
Do you shade your plants if it gets...
I haven't,
ever done
but
that?
I think we're going to have to start at some point.
That's a possibility the way the climate is going, that we might have to start shading plants.
Last year, tomato plants, the leaves burn, and you can burn your tomatoes would definitely, boy, you know that. Sun scald, is that what they call it?
It scared me. I started seeing too many plants burned, you know, and when I started to see the burn on the plants, it scared me because I had never seen that before, you know.
Well, an old friend of mine always said that. Well, I could feel it maybe 4 or 5 years ago. All of a sudden, the sun, or maybe even more. All of a sudden, being out in the sun was hot. It was like if you moved into the cave, and it wasn't like everything was hot. It was like if you were actually in the sun, it was really hot, and you could move into the shade, and it was immediately cool. It wasn't like the atmosphere was hot, or like it was just a hot day. It was just like the sun's rays themselves
Had
seemed
an
to be
extra little sting to
little
them.
sting to them. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.